Jim Norton Show starts now.
I'm very tempted to just let that entire song play without interruption. First show of 2013. Let's hope it's a real humdinger. Took the week off last week because there was nobody to come in with me. So I'm like, what am I going to do? Just sit like a dick and pretend I know how to work the board? I don't. Sam's over there. So if any of you call, Sam will be fielding your calls. I always start off with an email, so I'll start off with one email. Because the calls have been so good, I thought this was going to be a predominantly email show, but it's really not. A guy named Phillip writes, Hey, Jim, I'm 27 years old, a decent-looking guy, and in good shape. So far, I'm relating very much to this, except for the age and good shape part. But I'm a bit of a loner with no real friends. I just sleep, go to work, and then home for my daily routine. I'm looking to help open up and be more social. Meeting new women is difficult, like I said about my routine. I rarely go out. My mind goes blank when around women. Don't know how to approach women. You know, this guy. What you need to do is put fucking commas in here. Don't know how to approach women. You know, come up with an icebreaker. If you're going to write conversationally, put fucking commas in there. Because this is the way it reads. Don't know how to approach women, you know, come up with icebreaker. Like a psycho. What can I do to open up more? Thanks for your time. Love the show. Thanks, Phil. His name is Phillip. And I've jotted down a couple of opening lines, because I think what you need is a good opening line. It's very important to make a girl think that you kind of know what you're doing. So if you want to approach a woman, say you're out in a club, you might want to say a couple of these things. Hey, do you want to come sit in my car and talk for a little while? That's a nice opening line to a girl in a club. Or you say, hey, come behind this dumpster. I want to show you a magic trick. That's a good one. Or you could say, hi, I'm Phillip, and I'm an alcoholic. Or you, as you're shaking her hand, say, hey, not only is my name Phillip, but that's what I'll do to your vag. You know, you'll Phillip her vag, and wink as you say it. And say, hey, can I buy you a drink? Don't worry, I won't roofie it or nothing. And, how about this? You could say, you know, Mike Tyson never should have went to prison. She went to his room. What the fuck did she expect? See, Phillip, it lets her know that you're up on topical things. And you could say, hi, I'm Phillip. You have beautiful nails. If mine were that long, I'd spend every waking moment scratching my asshole. Just a fun little opening line. She'll laugh. I don't know what to tell you, brother. I would just say, go out more. You know, you got to get out there. You got to try it. Opening lines don't work, as we all know. Florentine was very good at that. Florentine had a great opening line. He would actually walk up to a girl and go, do you know what 7 times 7 is? He had some weird thing he would just say, an interesting thing. And women would go, what do you mean? He'd go, I've just got to do some math. And he's so charming. You know, next thing you know, he's deep dicking her in the fucking bathroom. I tried that and it sounded creepy. Do you know what 5 times 5 is? Ew, why? So I think you just got to be yourself. And if an opening line sounds like you, then use one. If not, just, you know, go out more. You got to get out more. You can't just sit home and fucking meet girls, you silly goose. Unless you go to Craigslist, and then you can. All right, who we got, young Sam?
It's Dan in Virginia.
Oh. Hello, Dan.
Hey, Jim, how are you, bud?
Good, buddy. How are you?
Not too bad, I guess, but my problem is I've been married to the woman now for a couple years, been together for about 10 years now, and we got a 1.5-year-old. Well, ever since he's been born, now there's no nookie. And
well, he's too young.
I can say I'm not fucking, but yeah, I mean, how do I get past my little cock blocker?
I don't know. I don't have kids. That's a common thing married people complain about, is that, does the baby sleep with you?
No.
So why don't you just fuck her when the kid's asleep?
Well, that's my plan, but sometimes, I don't know, I think he's got vag alarm or something because he always wakes up right like he ready to pop her.
Oh, okay. Well, how long do you bang for?
Dude, I'm a fat dude, so like 30 seconds before I get out of wind. Well,
yeah, is she kind of putting it off? Like,
Yeah, she's telling me that, now she's fat and all this crap, and it's like, look, I'm a dude, I don't care. Just roll over and let me just jam it.
Well, that's probably the wrong approach. See, if she says I'm fat, what she really wants you to say is, but yeah, you look good though, you're losing the weight, and, no, I'm still very attracted to you, not, I'm fat. You're not supposed to go, yeah, but so what? You could just roll over, and I'll put it in you real quick. When a girl says I'm fat, you never go, yeah, that's okay, but never. always diffuse it and go, no, you look good. That's what she wants from you. So she probably doesn't feel sexy, so make her feel sexy and not just like a hole you're going to dump your load in, which would be the honest approach.
True. Very true. Thanks, Jim.
All right, buddy. Good luck.
Later, brother.
You too.
You want to go to Shannon in Boston?
I do, and I don't even know what gender Shannon is. It's going to be fun to find out.
Hi, I'm a female.
Oh, not expected. Hello, Shannon.
Hi, how are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm okay. So I was calling because I thought maybe you might have some, hopefully, good advice as to how I can talk to my boyfriend about having an open relationship. I've been with him for about almost 4 years, and I've never been in a committed relationship for this length of time.
So you want to go out and have sex with other people?
Yeah.
Well, that's a rough one. The way I would suggest it, the only thing that would work for me in that situation would be start talking dirty to him while you're fucking about fucking other people. Like, do you engage in that kind of talk while you fuck?
I try to with him. I mean, I have in the past with other partners, but he's very, unfortunately, you know, it's not something I'm proud of, but I am more experienced than he is.
Okay.
So I try, and he doesn't really respond back.
Is he good in bed?
He's vanilla.
Okay. Wow, I think I just met my soulmate. No,
It's just very basic. It's very basic.
Well, why are you intent on staying with this guy then? If obviously you're not sexually compatible.
Every other area that you would think that would be important in a relationship, we're good in.
Oh, it's just that one.
Yeah, and so I don't know. I mean, we have toys. We try. You know, I have had him try things that were new for him.
Would you bring a girl in? You ought to try maybe this.
Oh yeah.
So
that was how I thought I could possibly initiate it, and I started with that. But I was like, we could get like a high paid, we could get like an escort. And he's like, I don't want to pay for sex. And I'm like, well,
Oof.
we don't drink either.
Jesus.
Like, we've been sober for a while. So it's not like, we can go to a bar and have a couple beers and take maybe like the edge off.
Now, let me ask you a question. First of all, it sounds like you're going to lose him if you really push it. It sounds like he wouldn't want this. But if you're recovering from drinking, is this because you really want an open relationship? Or are you just kind of being an addict and not happy with what you have and always looking for the new high? I don't know what the answer to that is. I'm honestly asking you. Because sometimes it's hard to be, sorry to interrupt you. Sometimes it's hard to be content when things are okay. So I always have to go out and find that new drug, that new thing, that new get off, that new high. And then there's the times where it's like, legitimately, I think an open relationship would work. I mean, so I don't know what the answer is, but it sounds to me like he's probably not going to go for it. You haven't indicated anything that says he'd go for it.
Yeah, no. If there would be a possibility with anything, I would think I had a better chance of bringing another girl in as opposed to saying, you go out, you can, do whatever you want with whoever you want for a night by himself, and I can go out and do whatever. I think he would be more accepting of bringing a female into it because he's not a female.
Well, do you want to fuck other guys or do you want to fuck other women or both?
I mean, I would, if it was one or nothing, I would go for the female, but I would like to, have another dick, have something. He doesn't, I asked him, I came right up to him and I asked him, I said, do you know, have you ever had sex with someone where it's completely, animalistic and just completely raw and quick? And he's like, and he's sitting there and he's thinking about it. And I'm like, even when you were drinking and when you were getting high, anything. He's like, no. He doesn't know even what I'm talking about when I'm saying, I want him to come in and, be like a savage animal.
Right. That's tough. I mean, sometimes if you're not compatible in that area, it's a hard, I guess you could work on it. But I've always found that things like that kind of happen organically. Like, after 4 years, people, if it's just something that's wrong or if that if you guys are just maybe not compatible. So good luck to you. I don't know what to say with that one because, It sounds to me like if you push for the open relationship, maybe he'll surprise you, but just be prepared that he may want to break up.
Okay, well, thank you so much. I listen to your show every week, and I listen to that Phillip show as well.
Thank you, Shannon.
Thank you.
Take care.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. And I don't do that many emails anymore, like I said, but if you want to email me, you can at jimnortonshow@gmail. There's no just jimnortonshow@gmail. And I may start the show with your email. Okay, who's next?
Eric in Ohio.
Oh, Eric. Hello?
Hey, Jim.
Hi, buddy.
Hey, I just recently had issues with my brother. I live with him, and we've been fighting and arguing since we were kids and not everything, but now we're both in our 20s, and he got drunk for New Year's and just came home, woke me up just to instigate a fight, and I can't really afford to move out on my own right now, and I'm not sure what I should do.
Well, I don't know the dynamics of your relationship, but if it's somebody that you've been fighting with your whole life, and obviously he woke you up to start a fight, there's problems there, so maybe you should just save up and move in with somebody else. That's the only thing I can suggest is find, either sit down and talk to your brother and go, look, we're fighting too much, and I know that that's kind of the way we are, but I'm not happy with it. I don't want to fight with you like this anymore. But if you don't think that will work, then maybe just, start saving money and then, move in with somebody else. There's only two options.
Yeah. I even, he's even threatened me with a gun before, and it's ridiculous sometimes.
Yeah, what are you doing staying there? What are you, a battered wife? I mean, if he's threatened you with a gun, that goes beyond just arguing with your brother. That goes into a dangerous situation.
Yeah. Yeah, I've discussed some of it now with, other family, and I've even thought about moving in with my mom again if I have to, but...
Well, why don't you for a little while and save some money? I mean, if you got to move in with your mom, it's your ego that says don't move in with your mom, but it's either that or live with your brother who you're fighting with, and if he's threatening with a gun, I'd prefer the hit to the ego.
Yeah, that's true, yeah. Thanks, Jim. I'm punching out.
All right, buddy, good luck. Jesus, that's horrifying.
Dave in Arizona.
Good, Dave. Hello.
Hey, what's up, Jim?
How are you?
Huge fan, man.
Thank you.
I'm nervous talking to you like you would be nervous talking to Ozzy.
Thank you. I'm much less of a talk to than Ozzy is, but thank you.
So I'll try to put this in the best nutshell I can. I would say about a year ago, my wife was watching a couple of kids that I used to work with this chick. Well, I still work with her. She asked if my wife could watch her kids while we were at work. My wife said, yeah, no problem. Hopefully it won't be a long-term thing. These kids are 4 years old, 5 years old. And we watched them for about 6 months, and then abruptly she stopped bringing the kids. I was at work, and I was like, hey, what's going on? She said, oh, they're staying with their new grandmother, whatever. Anyways, about a week later, we had a CYFD show up to our house. That's Children, Youth, and Family Services, saying that my sons that were the same age as this chick's kids were trying to mess with the little girl. I'm like, well, that's kind of weird. So they were able to interview my kids. My sons were like, no, and the CYFD lady's like, this is bullshit. We're closing this, right? So February of 2012, we get detectives showing up to our house with the warrant, now accusing me and my wife of molesting these kids.
Oh, wow.
Touching them and taking pictures of them. And we're like, what the fuck? Blindsided. And they came in, these kids said that we did this to them. I'm like, what the fuck?
How old were they? How old are the kids?
4 and 5.
Wow.
So this was a year ago, but they were able to, they took our phones, our smartphones, took our cameras, our digital cameras, ran through our computer right there, interviewed me and my wife separately, read us our rights. It was living hell, dude, for a month. Yeah,
because being accused, something like that, just being accused, it's even if you're found totally not guilty of it, other people still know you were accused.
Yeah, and the weird thing about it was during all this was happening, she was having her friends email me saying, hey, I need your Social Security number to pay taxes on babysitting. It's no, this is a fucking cash thing, you know what I mean?
Right.
I'm not giving you shit, you're fucking crazy. And I have to work with this chick. Well, lo and behold, 6 months passed. We get all of her evidence back. They had to give my wife's phone to the FBI because they couldn't unlock it to look at pictures.
Right.
And I finally, through our final interview with the detective, I finally asked the detective, I said, look, do you think I'm guilty? She kind of laughed and said, I can't answer that. And I said, yeah, sure you can. She goes, no, I can't. I'm here to collect evidence. She goes, all I can tell you is this is, if you were guilty, she goes, you'd be in jail and your kids would be taken from you. She's like, I don't even have the need to interview your younger children. I don't think they're in danger.
Let me ask you a question. What is your question? And I'm not rushing you through it. I'm saying because My
question is I still have to work with this chick.
That's rough.
I see her every day, and I see her boyfriend every day, and they just look at me like I'm a pariah, and I'm just like, she's a lying bitch. I know she's a lying bitch. We all know she's a lying bitch. The cops still had to submit their case to the DA and all that fucking shit. And, I know nothing's going to happen, but I still have to see this chick every day.
It's rough. I mean, is there a chance of you switching jobs so you don't have to, or is there a chance of you talking to her, or would that do no good?
Can't talk to each other at work. The work's aware of this.
Okay.
My thing is this, I don't know if you have any advice, like, do I have to see this chick every day and, I just want to fucking bury an axe in her forehead?
Well, you have to realize that you didn't do anything wrong. If you're telling me the truth, and I'm assuming you are.
No, I am.
And I believe you. It's like, look, you didn't do anything wrong. Hating her is one thing, but at least, look at it this way, at least she's not coming after you for something at least you don't have to worry about jail. Like, hating her, you'd hate her even if you did it, so it's a good thing you didn't do it. So if you have to hate her, it's better to know you're hating her because she's wrongfully accusing you than hating her because she's accusing you of something that you're actually going to go to jail for because you did it. You look at the McMartin preschool. I mean, there was a lot of people accused there that didn't do it. I don't know what it's like to have to work with somebody under those conditions, because I would probably be burning with the same resentment you are. Maybe it's the boyfriend. Maybe the boyfriend poisoned her to it. Maybe the boyfriend was doing certain things. And somehow, because sometimes they can make kids testify a certain way. So I would just suggest working and don't snap at work and kill her. I mean, that's all I can suggest to you if you can't leave your job.
It's been a year, and I don't think I'll snap yet, but it's like that hatred's toxic inside of me, and maybe I just gotta, look at it as an opportunity. Maybe, hey, go back to school and go do something else. You know what I mean?
They always told me when I'm mad at somebody, pray for them. But that was, at times, really fucking hard to do. Even if you're into prayer, that's a rough one.
I tried to go, I went back to church, I prayed, and I'm like, I just read Florentine's thing, I'm not like like he said, I don't know if you read Florentine's blog about how he's, not an atheist, but definitely was brought up with prayer, and I was the same way, I hadn't been to church in a long time, but that was the only thing I could do was go to church and pray, and it helped, but that's temporary in a sense, you just gotta fucking, searing hatred. My wife's like, I'm gonna fucking beat her ass if I see her out, I'm going to jail.
Well, it's like you got to realize you didn't do anything wrong. People are falsely accused in this country. It stinks, but at least it's a false accusation and that it looks like you're going to be okay. So I would say get through the case first and then process your emotions about this lady. That would be my suggestion. And then make a decision on whether you want to stay there or work someplace else. Just get through the case first. Get this behind you, and then you can worry about how you feel about her.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I appreciate that, man, and I'm a huge fan and never talk to you, and again, you're the fucking best, dude.
Thanks, buddy. Be good. Good luck to you.
Thanks, bro.
All right, let's go to, I don't see the name, but area code 781.
Oh, that's always helpful. I know what that is, too. 781. It's not Buffalo, is it? No, fuck, that's 716. All right, I guess I don't know.
Scott.
Hello.
Hi, Scott.
Hey, Jim, how are you?
Good. Where's 781?
It is south of Boston, Massachusetts.
Oh, okay. 781. Seven must have been hungry.
A fucking go one.
Fucking home run chipper. So what's up, buddy?
Nothing. I'm an aspiring writer. I was kind of had a question about your process. Like, did you always know you were going to be a stand-up? Did you always write in that mindset, or did you just write down funny things and then see what happened with them?
Well, what kind of writing do you want to do? Do you want to do dramatic writing or comedy writing?
Comedy writing.
Yeah, I always kind of knew I wanted to be my first, the way I got attention when I was a kid by making people laugh, and I would always write funny stories in class, and then, I wanted the teacher to read my stories. So yeah, I always kind of gravitated towards that, and whenever I wrote, I tried to make it funny, and I put being funny above any other goal in what I was doing, whether it was talking or whether it was, being right was not as important. Being praised in class was not as important, but being funny was. So if that's your vibe and you want to write that way, I would just suggest be true to that and write that way. And my process is weird. I can't just sit down and make myself write. Like Colin can do that. That's why Colin is such a prolific writer, because he has the ability to make himself write when, at times I'm sure he doesn't want to. I stink at that. I wish I was better at it.
I can't do that either.
But write down everything you think is funny and realize you can go and expand on it later. Like sometimes you put down a thought, whatever it is you're talking about, and just write it down on whatever piece of paper you have, and then go home and look at it again and go, is this funny? And just add a little bit to it, on top of it and under it, before it and after it. And sometimes if you're writing to be funny, it's okay to write and be serious a little bit as well, and then realize something funny will come up while you're writing. Don't obsess over the joke. That would be advice. Don't obsess over the joke. It will usually come.
Okay. Yeah, I usually tend to obsess over the jokes.
Yeah, and that clogs the fucking writing. Sometimes, like when I was writing I Hate Your Guts, I started off trashing the Yankees, and that just kind of took me into my Little League story, which I didn't plan on putting in the book at all. But it became paragraph after paragraph, and I'm like, fuck, man, this is interesting. So I enjoyed the tangent I was on. Don't push yourself away if you go off on a writing tangent, because a lot of times that's where the really good stuff is going to come. And by and large, that was people's favorite story in that second book, was that personal story about me spinning in the outfield like a douchebag during Little League. So if you have a tangent and you think it's going to be just distract from your main story, you'll get back to your main story. Let yourself wander off a little bit. Let your imagination or your memory or whatever you're using go. And a lot of times you'll get much better stuff than you think.
Yeah, that's the best feeling in the world, when non-forced, you're doing one thing and then something else crops up out of nowhere and is a home run.
Yeah, and it's better than what you thought what you were going to have before. Absolutely. That's not the best feeling in the world. A finger in your asshole while a nice mouth just teases your bag would be the best feeling in the world. Something funny coming is maybe in the top 100.
Yeah, that's fair.
All right?
All right. Thanks a lot, Jim. Love you.
All right. Thank you, buddy. Good luck.
All right. Brad in Buffalo.
Oh. Well, hello, Brad.
Hello, Jim.
Hi, buddy.
Hey, I'm sorry, I'm wasting your time with this, but I just learned from your show that Jack Klugman died.
Yes.
And I'm a young guy, and I've actually watched every episode of Quincy because you've been doing that bit.
Sure.
It's on Netflix now, and it's great. And I don't know where I'm going with this because I said I'm wasting your time, so I apologize.
No, that was good. I appreciate the call. It was good to have a Jack Klugman death announcement 5 days later, just to kind of reiterate. Jesus. And the guy talked about, he just felt his call unraveling as it happened. And it's on Netflix, and, with your remote, you can access it. Thank you, sir, very much. God bless.
Mark in Maryland.
Hey, Jimmy. How you doing?
Hi, Mark. I'm okay. Tired.
Hey, I just listen to the show all the time, and I'm on the road a lot. I would just listen to your thing about, the attic. I just got back into my first meeting, this morning in over a year. And, something you said about how do you get, I'm trying to think of how you said it, how do you get past that, I need something new, be content with what you got?
Yeah.
I'm sure I screwed that up.
No, that's accurate.
But I think you fucking hit it right on the head, brother. I've been trying to figure this out for a long time, and, I drank my face off, and then I got deployed and, couldn't drink at all, and came back and, screwed things up with the marital situation, all kinds of crap, and then went out for like 90 days, said, I'm not drinking, I'm not doing anything. And then, I said, fucking nobody's going to tell me what to do, because, just a million other things. So I figured yesterday was a good day to start it over again, and I went to a meeting this morning, and it was great, but, nobody's ever put it in, I don't know, straight terms like you just did. I'm always trying to find that new chaos, or trying to find that new thing, and I don't know what that is, and how the fuck do you get past that?
Well, believe me, I struggle with it too. And I've said, I think on this show,
like 20 years though.
Yeah, but it's funny. 23 years, actually, over 20 years I've been sober, and obviously my sobriety needs work. So I never claim perfection. The only thing sometimes I've done right is not pick up. But, you know, I still have that, you know, that yearning for the next thing. And I catch myself doing it. And I've said before, there was a guy, he has died since, unfortunately. I would see, let's just say in these 12-step places I would go. And he would always say, and I've quoted this before, if I can't have what I want, please let me want what I have. And that phrase is one of the things I've repeated to myself more than anything, because it sums up what's wrong with me. I'm fucking greedy. I always want more than my share. I always want more pleasure than I'm entitled to. I want more food than I'm entitled to. It's like whatever I get, instead of just going, wow, this is nice, it's like, give me the next one. You know, it's in that it was like that when I drank. It was like that when I did drugs. And at times, that's a helpful quality. That's the sick part about this shit. Like, you know, they always say, like, people talk about our character defects, and people are like, well, I get hundreds of character defects. You have 7. They're called commonly the 7 deadly sins. But anything wrong with me can be attributed to one of those things. Greed, lust, envy, gluttony, whatever the other ones are. Fuck it, I should probably remember them before I spout off like I know what I'm talking about. But everything that's wrong with me goes to one of those 7 things being perverted. Like, you know, a greed for life is healthy, like kind of like Gordon Gekko said. You know, or a greed for health or something like that, but you're going out and you're trying to get it, you're trying to make it happen. But then it just goes into this, I need more. I need more.
How do you break that?
From what people who I know who are truly happy, a spiritual answer is probably it. Giving back, helping other people, things that I've sucked at for a long time. So, but I do know the answers. I have not been practicing them. So I would suggest, just from my knowledge of this stuff as opposed to my practice, just give something to other people and realize when you're doing it. Sometimes you got to catch yourself, you greedy motherfucker. Look at what you have. Like, I forget that. I always forget how lucky I am and how good my life is because I'm too busy bitching and sniveling about what I don't have. Because I'll look at a guy like, who's, Seinfeld or Kevin Hart or a guy who's making fucking all that money and go, look, I'm not making that money. Instead of looking at myself going, you fucking dummy, if life was fair, you'd be dead. If life was fair, I wouldn't be on the Opie and Anthony show. I wouldn't be living my dream to be a total cornball. I wanted to be a comedian since I was a child. I'm a comedian. I've gotten almost everything that I've wanted and have been willing to work for. And yet I still find reason to complain. So sometimes when you just kind of look at what you have and you realize other people don't have what you have, sometimes it's kind of hard to not feel grateful for it. Sometimes you just got to catch yourself.
Good fucking point.
All right?
I appreciate it. Thank you, buddy.
All right, buddy. Take care.
All right.
Eric wants you to do the read.
I don't have any reads to do. I mean, I do want to discuss something, though. Mask sexual flavors, spelled M-A-S-Q-U-E. And I'm glad that they put the real phonetic M-A-S-K here, so I would know. But it really is the new way to foreplay. It's a revolutionary intimacy enhancement product, and it's designed to help couples enrich their sex life and their relationship. They're flavored gel strips, and they dissolve on the tongue, and they block the tastes that are sometimes associated with oral sex on a man and his subsequent climax. We all know what that means. Look, a lot of women don't want to do certain things because they don't like the taste. I don't blame them. I say that like I've never tasted it. I don't blame them. I wouldn't either. So this will mask the taste and make that a more pleasant experience for them. It dramatically improves the experience for both partners simply because she feels better because she's tasting something pleasant to her, and you feel better because she's enjoying doing it. And you don't feel like, oh God, I gotta finish because she's hating this. So if you know that she's enjoying it, you're going to enjoy it more. This product has been featured on the pages of major women's magazines. It was developed throughout the years of research and testing, and it's 100% safe and effective. Just visit sexualflavors.com to learn more. You can read customer reviews, and of course, if you want to purchase individual use strips and 3-packs, you can do so. It's available in strawberry, watermelon, mango, and chocolate. Sexualflavors.com. Just mask natural sexual flavors that you might not like, and it's the spark to reignite your bedroom flame. And I'm sure guys could use it too, because let's be honest, bad flavors go both ways. So good luck to you.
We'll go to Shelly in Vegas.
Shelly! I never liked you, Shelly. You ever see Glengarry Glen Ross? Hi, Shelly.
Come on, Jim.
I meant a male Shelly. Jack Lemmon. Sorry.
Okay. My ex-husband and I split up about 10 months ago, and it was basically all due to a false accusation. He thought I cheated on him, and I didn't. I swear I didn't. Now, my problem is that I guess I didn't prepare myself for him getting into another relationship. I thought that either he'd stay single and go nuts, or, we'd get back together, possibly.
Right.
He's now in a complete and total in love with someone. She's 22 fucking years old. He's 36.
How old are you?
And I'm 40.
So do you think maybe that the cheating accusation was something that he kind of knew might have been a bunch of bullshit, but really just wanted out of the relationship and needed to blame you instead of saying, hey, look, I'm not happy. I want a younger woman.
Yeah, a good possibility.
Yeah, that sounds like what that is to me, especially if you really didn't cheat. And can you understand why he thought you cheated, or do you think it was totally nonsense?
Because it was a friend of his. I met with a friend of his, and we went for drinks, and the guy hit on me. I said no, and I left, and the guy told him that it was a whole other thing. That literally made up a whole bullshit story that we had sex. And
why would the guy do that?
Well, he was pissed off because my ex-husband wouldn't pay any attention to him anymore. They'd been friends for over 15 years, and for the last 4 years, my husband's been doing nothing but comedy. He's a comedian.
Okay.
So he's lost interest in basically everything he had in life. He's a pot comedian. That's the other problem, too. He's niched himself. He'll never go mainstream.
Well, I mean, look, yeah, he sounds like he's living something he probably always wanted to live. I'm not saying it's right that he left you and is in a new relationship, but maybe you have to move on. Because it sounds to me like he wasn't.
I'm going nuts. That's the problem.
Why?
You've been to therapy, so because ever since I found out about the girlfriend and a whole relationship, I've been out banging every man I can fucking find.
Yeah, you're doing what a lot of us do when we find out. So when something really hurts, we cover it up with other things. Like, he's in for women, finding out the guy you are with loves somebody else is a lot harder than dealing with the fact that he fucked her. And I think for a man, a woman saying, look, I kind of love my coworker, but we didn't do anything. We can forgive you for that. But if you fucked your coworker, we don't forgive. So for you, that's the really hard one. So you're just going out and doing the thing that would crush him because you're trying to move on.
It doesn't feel like moving on, though. It's like a temporary fix.
Well, yeah, you're probably doing it for the wrong reasons and with the wrong people. Maybe you need to try to go on a few dates and see if there's anybody you actually like and that you actually want to hook up with. I did for New Year's.
It's it was actually a third date kind of thing with this guy, and I do really like him, but I feel like I'm doing the same thing over again. He's younger, again, even younger than my ex-husband.
Okay.
And so I get worried.
Well, you can't, look, how old is he?
He's 30.
You're 40. When you're 90, he'll be 80. Who gives a fuck? That's not that big a deal. 10 years, he might like women a little bit older, more mature. You can't just panic because somebody's a few years younger than you, because believe me, you could date a 42-year-old who cheats on you with a 22-year-old. That's...
Yeah, and I'm not interested in older guys. I've always been dating younger guys, always.
Yeah, and, maybe what your husband did some kind of a favor. You go out and get some younger dick. Just don't go fucking a whole bunch of strangers for the wrong reason, because you're going to wind up feeling shitty anyway. You're not going to get rid of that.
Yeah, now that I've met this younger guy, I do feel shitty about what I've been doing. It's like, and unfortunately, it's like I feel like I want to cut all these other ones off, and it's like I don't know how to do that.
Well, just cut them off. Somebody said recently, somebody was talking about detaching recently, and they said detach with an axe, which is a great way to do it. Detaching with love is what I've always said, but detach with an axe sounds a lot better. Sometimes you just have to cut someone off. And if they're unhealthy for you and you're doing it for the wrong reasons, they'll move on, believe me. They'll be okay.
Thank you, Jimmy.
All right, good luck.
So much. All right, bye.
All right, bye, Shelley.
How about Mike in Chicago?
Oh, yes.
Mike.
Hey.
Hi, Mike from Chicagoland. I want to sound like a real guy. Yes.
Hey, man, love your book. Happy Endings, read it, loved it. Listen to you guys all the time.
Thank you, Mike.
Anyway, the reason I'm calling is I've got a brother that we've had sibling rivalry since we were kids, man.
He's a year away from me. And recently, through the holidays and stuff, we have this almost competitive thing going on. He's married with kids. I'm married with a kid. We're at two different points in our lives, two different career paths, everything. And we just don't get along. We've gotten in fist fights over the years, stuff that I just don't want to deal with anymore as an adult.
Sure.
And recently, we lost our father earlier this year, so it's been tough on the family and everything.
Right.
Like, recently, he didn't know he was being put through a test, but I'm getting ready to just cut it off. And like I said, his wife we don't get along with. She comes into the, into family gatherings, doesn't say a word to anybody, never talks to my kid. It's pretty ice cold.
Well, maybe let me ask you, is she picking up on his vibe? Because obviously if you and him have all this stuff, she's going to side with her husband. So to her, you're just the asshole brother who competes with her husband.
Yeah, that's possible. And I know that sometimes he's put up to the standard that is me and falls short.
So you're kind of ahead of him in your life.
I think so, but if you were to ask him, he would say that I'm more superficial, I'm more flashy or whatever. But I'm a little more successful than he is. And anytime we make a purchase or something, he thinks that it's some condescending thing, or I think it's a jealousy thing.
Did you ever? And again, I asked the other guy this because I have a sister, but we don't have a rivalry, my sister and I. But if you're having problems with him and you're ready to cut the relationship off, is it so weird to sit down with him and say, look, we have this weird dynamic. We're both men, and I don't like this dynamic anymore. Maybe he would be relieved to talk about it because maybe he doesn't like it either. And if not, if he says, well, what do you mean? I don't know what you're talking about. Then fuck him. Don't see him unless you have to at a family gathering. Then you can cut it off. But I would suggest talking to him first, like just you and him. Nicely. Don't accuse him. Don't blame him. Say, look, I think we've both been a 50-50 partner in this dynamic, and we both contributed to it, and I'm not happy with it anymore. It's like we're fucking adults. What are we doing? And maybe he'll agree with you.
Well, we've kind of had that conversation before.
Okay.
I'm willing to do it again, but it always goes south, and part of that is because I sit down assuming that I'm dealing with a logical person, but the guy he's always been a little bit socially awkward.
Okay.
On top of everything. So what I was thinking of doing is we've got my son's birthday coming up, and I was thinking about just not even having him over. Because to be honest with you, when I go to his house, we feel so unwelcome there. When they come to our house, they come in the house, they don't even talk to us. They walk right past us.
Well, then don't interact with him. If he's a dick and it's that awkward, I know he's family, but so what? Don't interact with him. Don't put yourself through it. Better your kid has a good time at his birthday party than the fucking shitty uncle comes over.
Yeah, and the biggest thing I'm dealing with is my wife. Feels so weird with them there, and that's kind of what I'm up against.
So the two wives are contributing too because they're picking up the vibe from you and the brother. Your wife's picking up your vibe, and his wife's picking up his vibe. So maybe give it a rest. Maybe give each other a shot to miss each other. Maybe don't talk for a little while and don't go to don't invite each other and see how it works. I mean, you're always going to be brothers. It's not like you're both going to die this year. So maybe give it some time.
Right.
All right.
Okay. Good advice, man. I appreciate it.
All right. Good luck, man.
All right. Thanks.
Bye.
Let's go, Greg in California.
Oh, it's Greg.
Hi, Jimmy.
It's going to be Greg. Hi, I am on a radio show, and I work with a sex addict and an alcoholic, and say, I was open. Okay.
We get it.
I know. Go ahead.
I'm 23 years old, and I've been in recovery for almost 3 years, and it's tough for me to, find friends and maintain a social life.
Why? Are there no friends in your, say, sober group, wherever you are?
There are, but being young and being in recovery, it's a lot more high schooly, you know what I mean? Since we don't have drugs or alcohol to turn to, I feel like there's a lot of just drama and stupid kicked up shit that doesn't need to be kicked up. And,
yeah.
That's where I'll use the term kids my age turn to get their addictive outlet out,
Yeah, because you're hanging out with other flawed people. I mean, just because they're sober doesn't mean that they're not flawed. But I went through that, too. I got sober when I was 18. And, you find your small core group of people, and you find out a lot of them kind of filter out of your lives as time goes on. I mean, but again, when people are really actively drinking and getting high, I mean, how deep are the relationships there? I mean, a lot of times, they're based on getting high and they're based on drinking. And those people they like you when you're providing or when you're getting high with them, and you have nothing in common when you don't. At least with these people, you have a life and death bond that you won't have with a lot of other people.
That's true, but when you're using with other people, then it's just, I don't really give a shit about them anyway, and the feeling's mutual that we're there for each other. But when you reach the point in your life, as you know, like, that you want to make deep connections and you want to have friends, like, who wouldn't want to have friends?
Sure.
Like, it's just tough when, you spend time with these people and they're more concerned of, Tommy fucking Sally than instead of, what's going on with you or how's work. Not like that's interesting conversation in itself. I'd rather know if Tommy fucked Sally, but that's my addict way of thinking.
Yeah, no. But you're saying you want to hang out with some more mature people. That's all. That's a maturity issue. I mean, some people that are more substantive in what they talk about with you than the current group you're hanging out with. And I think people in all walks of life can relate to that. Like, there's plenty of people who are not sober, who are just regular, who have kind of a group of friends that might be a little shitty and they want to improve or upgrade. So you just kind of have to seek out people who are behaving like you want them to behave. You know what I mean? Like, I guess that's the only advice I can give.
I understand, but the difficulty here comes into, finding these people. I mean, like, I'm 23, and I live in Southern California. I live in Orange County, so it's like, anywhere that I go out, do you want to hit the bong? Do you want to get high? Or do you want to go get wasted? And it's never just, let's hang out and have a jolly old time at the hat store.
Well, yeah, of course. Well, the hat store is always the place young people go. But you can find people that are doing what you want to do. And just make sure that you're not putting a set of standards. And I'm not saying you're doing this, but make sure you're not putting a set of standards on people just to isolate yourself from them. Like, and again, you might not be doing that, but sometimes as fucking sick people, our sick part of us wants to isolate us from people who are by and large healthy for us. And so I put up reasons why I shouldn't be close to them. Like, I find that they're flaws.
You might be absolutely right with that point. You actually, that's something that I haven't even looked at. You might be absolutely right. Thank you, Jimmy. You're a god among men, I guess.
Thank you. And my cock would say that. But no, do good. Just make sure you're doing it for the right reasons and give them a chance. And if there's people that again, sometimes just talking to people helps, especially sober people who are used to talking about our feelings. Some of them may appreciate what you say. Like, I don't feel like we talk that much about real stuff, or just go out with them one-on-one. Sometimes it's easier one-on-one, and just make sure that you're not purposefully in your own mind isolating them.
Yeah.
All right.
And are you ever going to come to the Improv again in Irvine, or are you just over it?
I was just there, dude. I was there not long ago.
No, I saw you there, but I kind of heard you bitching. I don't know if you were talking about the Irvine or another show that you did that nobody went to and you didn't want to go back.
Oh, Craig, that could be anywhere. I don't know. That could be one of 50 states, my friend. But I love Irvine. I'll definitely.
In Hollywood, I've seen you in Irvine. Every time you're out here, I see you. Well, we took a picture together last time you were out here. I'm not going to expect you to remember me, though.
I definitely will be back out there. I definitely will. Good luck, my friend.
Later.
You say it into. Why are you saying it into my headphones?
What's he saying?
We're going to have to wrap up.
Okay, no, I know. How much time we got left?
You got about 30 seconds.
Had 30 seconds when I had fucking 8 minutes of commercials to start and 9 minutes of commercials at the end?
Yeah, we have 8 minutes in the end here, too.
Why?
It's just what we have here.
That stinks. You're robbing these people.
I'm sorry.
You should have told me beforehand instead of a minute before.
Well, you were involved. I didn't want to.
I don't like your fucking McMurphy from Cuckoo's Nest hat. I'd like to take Eric's hat off with an arrow. So I'm sorry to the people on hold. I didn't know we were wrapping it up because fucking E-Rock tells us with a minute left. He's in there lollygagging, fucking chewing his toenails. No time for one more call?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, one
more. David in Texas.
Jimmy.
Hi, David.
Hey, bud. Okay, married, absolutely in love with my wife, but I also really love hookers.
Yes.
Like, I don't want to cheat on my wife. I don't want to have another relationship with another woman. That sounds fucking terrible.
Are you getting hookers currently?
No.
Okay.
It's the hardest thing I've ever done. But I drive by, you know what I'm talking about, where you just get that high from just driving by and seeing them and knowing you could, but
my suggestion,
I don't want to hide anything from them.
My suggestion would be, because we're running out of time, but you haven't done it. So feel lucky that you actually haven't done it and don't do it. Because once you do it, you can't undo it. And God forbid you get robbed or slashed. There's also a fucking danger, besides just getting arrested, of having your face slashed by some girl who wants to rob you. And then you got to go home and explain to your wife. You have not fucked up the marriage. I would suggest not fucking it up, because believe me, it's not worth it. I loved hookers too. Not worth it.
I appreciate it, brother.
Maybe address the sexual addiction. Maybe try some 12-step sexual meeting. You know, there's ways to address that, but that is a sex addiction. So maybe address that. But I'm glad you didn't do it for your own marriage, and I would suggest not doing it. So I apologize to rush you through that, but we are running out of time, as per Eric. All right? Be good, my friend. All right, thank you guys for calling in. We may have to extend this show to an hour and 5. And it's nice that fucking Hitler walked in. Tomorrow on O&A, we're going to talk about Sal's shitty mustache. Terrible. Fucking terrible. And that's it for us today, right? For me, not us. Me. Is that it?
Yeah.
All right. Thanks for listening, everybody. Tune into the Opie and Anthony Show tomorrow morning. I've been Jim Norton, and you've been great.